or if you want to speak out, just raise your hand and we can unmute you and you can speak. I am not from a corporate finance side, so anything on the financial planning side, feel more than free to ask me anything. Mutual funds, equities, insurance, anything that you have questions on asset allocation. So I'll try to answer in the best possible way from my end while we wait for Anil sir to join in. So as I said, any questions that anybody wants to ask, we have a lot of participants here. If you want have clarify any doubts and you want to get views on any of your investments, personal finance, etc., we can do that now. My name is Harish Menon. I am the other Menon here. I know you're expecting to see Anil Menon. Anil sir will be us very shortly. He's in a different session which got extended in the other platforms. He'll be here very very soon. I just thought I'll not keep you waiting and use the time for any questions that you want to ask me. So either on the chat or you can speak out your question. Okay, great. So the first question I've got is about investing in the equity markets at this juncture. So I always say this about equity. You cannot time it. It's very difficult to enter the equity market at the best possible way. On March 17th, closer towards the end of March 2020, some of you may know that the markets had crashed a lot due to the COVID crisis, and Nifty, which is currently at roughly 10,500, came down to as much as 7,600 points. But even on that day, there were a lot of investors who were panicking. They were not comfortable to buy even on that day. Now, looking back, people who would have bought at 7,600 odd levels would have made a lot of money in the last 3.5 months. But the point is, we don't know what will happen in the future, whether it will go down, go up. So what I always suggest for everybody who's trying to enter equity market is always try to never invest a big lump sum together. So if you're planning to invest, let's say 25 lakh rupees, you have surplus and you want to invest in equity, don't put all the money together. Just split it. Just convert it into installments. Maybe put a small part of amount every week or every fortnight or every month. You can pick up whatever stocks you want, but do it over a period of time. Because see, you're not investing in equity for 1 week or 1 month. You're investing for ideally 7 to 10 years. So build the portfolio over a period of time so that in the long run, you will be able to make more benefits out of it. Also, if you're not very good at picking direct stocks, please don't try to indulge in it. It's a very complicated task to go and directly pick shares. It is not easy at all. It needs a lot of skills and experience to get a grip over which stocks to buy, unless you know about a company very well, you know the management of the company, you know their business model very well, and then you want to invest. No problem. Do remember that randomly buying stocks is more dangerous, more risky. Mutual fund SIPs can work, mutual fund investments can work. And as Anil sir always says, which I totally agree to, if you have no real time and inclination to watch all this, a simple index fund will do. You get an index fund on Nifty, you get an index fund on Nifty Next 50, which is number 51 to 100 number stocks in India. You also get an index fund for mid cap now. So Motilal Oswal has an index fund for mid cap also. You can consider that. So easy, no brainer, invest in the market kind of a strategy. Beautiful. It's always a very low cost strategy that you can utilize. That's my take on equity markets. I've been investing for close to 16 years now. So obviously I have seen a lot of types of investors and money that has gone into it. The next question I have got, and this is open house, huh? So any question can come from anywhere. If I can answer, I will. If I don't know it, obviously I will say it as much. My question is, what is your view on endowment plans offered by LIC? I am not a fan of any endowment plan by any insurance company, not just by LIC. I have calculated the effective returns that endowment plan gives on so many policies over the last 12 years. There are so many clients who come to me with some of their insurance that they're holding, and we review it as a part of financial planning. I'm a SEBI registered investment advisor. So for me, this is my business. So I have reviewed so many endowment plans. At best, the kind of IRR, internal rate of return, which is your effective return, at best we see in some of the plan is 5.5%. But most endowment plans I have seen, including by the biggest insurance company LIC, effectively ends up getting a returns of 3.5% per annum. Of course, it is post-tax in current environment because insurance withdrawals are not taxed, but still, I would say 3.5% for a 15, 20, 25-year investment is not very conducive. I would always suggest take a term insurance plan for your protection. Whatever premium you save, and you will save a lot of premium, invest it in a good mutual fund SIP. If you don't know which one, stick to index funds. My sense is in a 15, 20-year kind of an environment, if you are able to manage your investments properly, you will definitely get more than endowment plans. So my suggestion is, as a ground rule, unless there is some policy which is really, really good, I haven't come across any in the recent past. As a ground rule, term insurance for protection, everything else you just handle through your equity markets or hybrid funds. Mutual funds offers a lot of options now. That's my take, Mahesh ji. A lot of participants have got added, so I will have to keep repeating what is happening because they will join and they will suddenly see somebody else in the session. So welcome to all of you who have just recently joined in the last few minutes. Anil Menon sir will be here very shortly. I have just started off the session on his behalf. This is still Menon Mantra's financial planning session. Anil sir will be here shortly. He actually is moderating another session, so that session has got a little delayed. What I did is I opened the session and opened the floor for any questions you want to ask. Anything that you want to know about mutual funds and investments and insurance and equity and fixed income and debt, whatever in the realm of investment world, I can help you. I have another question now from Saurabh. Hi, Saurabh. Kuvera is a good application to invest. Yes, very good application to invest, Saurabh. I invest personally in Kuvera. A lot of my investments go through Kuvera. Many of my clients, I have suggested Kuvera for at least a couple of years now, and none of them have come back and said we have had a problem. Kuvera is a very good app for investing in direct plans of mutual fund. Kuvera, for those of you who are not aware. Kuvera, Kuvera.in. It's a website as well as a mobile app. I must add that I have no connection with them. I don't get any commission from them for saying this. Amazing app. The best thing about Kuvera is they don't take your money in any form. It's connected to your bank account. So whatever SIPs or investments you do, money will directly go from your bank account. And if you redeem anything, money will come back into your bank account. So there is no money going through Kuvera. So there is no risk. Tomorrow, if Kuvera goes out of business, no problem. Your money is still in bank account and your investments are still in DMAT, in CDSL or NSDL. So there is no risk you're carrying on that platform at all. The second advantage of Kuvera, apart from direct plan investing, is you can import your existing portfolio into Kuvera. So all your mutual funds that you're holding currently, you can import it into Kuvera so that you have a one place view of all your investment. Otherwise, every time you want to know things, you might have to call up your mutual fund agent or distributor, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying they are not doing a good job. It's just that if you want to take control, Kuvera is a wonderful self-help, do-it-yourself kind of a app. Thank you, Saurabh, for that question. I'm just worried that somebody will come in the session, they will see something and just walk off because they are used to seeing Anil Menon sir's energetic talks when they join in. I've got another question from Naresh ji now. Naresh ji is asking, is it a right time to buy gold at this point of time through sovereign gold bond? So Naresh ji, depends upon your view on the gold. So if you believe that in the next 8 years, gold prices will appreciate as compared to what is it currently, then the best way to invest in gold is through gold, sovereign gold bonds. Absolutely no doubt about that, because you get a interest income on that. If you purchase gold jewelry, if you purchase gold ETF, you don't get any income on holding. Here you get an interest income also. And after 8 years, the best part is on the redemption of the gold, sovereign gold bond, you don't pay any capital gain tax also. If you have jewelry or gold biscuits or gold coins, you will have to pay capital gain tax eventually when you sell. Here, if you hold it for 8 years, no capital gain tax also. So if you think gold is going to appreciate over the next 8 years, and if you want to have gold as an investment, or if you want to convert some of your old jewelry which you are not using, come on. I know many of you would agree. I don't know. I don't wear jewelry much, but I have seen it from my female friends and family that jewelry ka fashion ka bahut fanda hota hai. Fashion khatam to jewelry is gone. So you liquidate it. You take that money, you invest in gold, sovereign gold bonds, and you hold it. So rather than investing in, rather than holding jewelry which nobody is using, you can do it through sovereign gold bonds. Only if you want to invest in gold. See, I am not giving you a view on gold. I don't know what will happen to gold price. Will it give you returns more than equity? I doubt. Will it give you some positive returns? Yes, surely, over the next 8 years. So that way, sovereign gold bond is a very good way of doing it. Harshji on SGB, Harsh, if you exit after 5 years, there is capital gain. There is capital gain if you exit in between. The capital gain exemption is only if you hold till redemption of 8 years. So after 5 years, you'll have to pay capital gain. So be careful about that. Next question is from Anil Ji. Between ETF and index fund, which is a better option? So Anil Ji, I think you probably joined in this session for initial first time, or maybe you missed one of the earlier session. I had discussed this point. I am not a fan of ETFs in India as of now. Exchange traded funds, beautiful concept, internationally very well acclaimed. But in India, my experience tells me that ETF has a liquidity problem in India. So it's a concept is same, index fund and ETFs are the same thing, but ETFs have a liquidity problem. You have to understand ETFs work in secondary markets. ETFs are not purchased or sold through mutual funds. ETFs are purchased or sold through your stock market. So a lot of times, and we saw this in March and April this year, by the way, when Nifty was crashing, when Nifty was falling badly, there were no buyers for Nifty ETF. Nobody wanted to buy Nifty ETF. There was no demand. Nobody wanted to invest in the index at that point. But there were a lot of sellers in Nifty ETF. People who were holding it wanted to exit. Now imagine, supply of ETFs is very high. Demand is not there. I have seen days earlier this year where the ETF prices were 9% to 3%, depending upon the day, 3 to 9% discount to Nifty. It's good if you want to buy, but it is not good if you want to sell at that point. So it's not liquid. Index funds, you directly go and purchase and redeem through mutual funds. No liquidity problem at all. So for the time being, till India develops and till India matures, my sense is stick to index fund. There is not much of a difference in cost also. When ETFs become very liquid, when there is a lot of liquidity, you can switch to it. But at this point, I will strongly urge you to invest in index fund. I just told you a little while earlier, there is index fund available on Nifty. There is index fund available on Nifty Next 50. There is index fund available on mid cap also now. No reason for you to not invest in index fund. That is my answer, Anilji. I hope you understood. Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Ji has a question. Nikhil, is there a way we can buy shares in foreign markets? So Nikhil, interesting question because today's session is on that. Today I'll be talking about investing in overseas market. I will start my official session after Anil Menon sir joins us. He has to officially start and then only I will take up. So today I will answer that question, Nikhil. I just hope you will be with us in the session for the next hour or so. What is the time? It's almost, yeah. So yeah, Nikhil, that would be a good thing. Karthik, is Bharat Bond a good investment in current scenario? Yes, Karthik, Bharat Bond is a wonderful ETF at almost zero cost, and they're doing an amazing job. They're tracking the index properly. In fact, NSE now came out with the Bharat Bond Index also to be able to track its performance. Absolutely not a bad product at all if you want to invest in fixed income. Absolutely good option. So instead of a 3-year or a long-term FD, you can definitely consider Bharat Bond for investment. Mohit has a question on Bharat Bond again. I'm invested in Bharat Bond, previous version, okay? If the redemption is made over the invested value and the original value is held till maturity, will the so the returns will not be predictable even now, even if there is a value fluctuation, Mohit. So even if there is a value fluctuation as of now, it's not predictable. You will not be sure whether it will be it will be giving you X returns or Y returns. What they only give you is indicative return, indicative. Upar niche hoga because there is something called interest rate risk. They invest in government bonds and safe bonds, but there is still interest rate risk. So it won't be very predictable, but indicatively they will mention what they will give you. You can't be sure about it. Naresh Reddy ji, no, as of now, there is no major liquidity problem with Bharat Bond, but of course, it's not as liquid as a normal stock or something. But yeah, for small investments, you're able to exit, which is not really a big deal as of now. So it's fine. It's actually better than a Nifty ETF in terms of liquidity as of now. Vasudha ji has a question: how are gilt funds? Are they better than index funds? So Vasudha ji, two different things. The comparison is not fair. Index funds is equity, gilt funds is bonds, government bonds, not comparable at all. Never compare. It is like comparing is brinjal better or orange. I mean, one is fruit, one is vegetable. Individually, index fund is good if you want to invest in equity for long term. Gilt fund is risky. Gilt fund has something called interest rate risk. So you have to be very careful in terms of when you enter. So if you ask me today, not a good time to enter gilt fund. If you would have asked me 1 year back, superb time to enter gilt fund. And they've given 14-15% returns over the last 2 to 3 years. Now interest rates have gone down a lot. From current point in time, if you're investing, I wouldn't recommend gilt fund because remember, as interest rate goes up, the value of gilt funds go down. It's inverse relationship. So from today, if you ask me, no, I wouldn't recommend gilt fund at this point. Index fund is equity, so that's a different ball game, not comparable as such. I hope that answers your question, Vasudha ji. I would request you to ask questions in the Q&A option. There's a question and answer box because I'm not seeing the chat. I can see many of you smartly put the question both sides so that I will see somewhere. So Mohit ji's question I answered. Harsh, I answered your question. Akshat has a question which I have not answered. Do you think brokers like Zerodha are safe? Or we should go with seasoned and costly ones like SMC Global or HDFC Securities? Akshat, the answer is simple. All the brokers are equally safe or equally risky. All are regulated by SEBI. In fact, Zerodha is the most profitable and the most liquid broker in the market right now. I would I would be totally comfortable with Zerodha. All my investments, all my trading happens through Zerodha. I'm completely comfortable. I know Kamath brothers. I know them. I have met them. We do some work with them. We have that kind of an arrangement with them. And absolutely liquid, crazy amount of profits they make, and zero external funding. They are a bootstrapped company. The two brothers have started it from scratch, zero external funding. They don't have borrowing. They don't have anybody else's money in the business. They are regulated by SEBI, just like any other broker is. So all brokers are equally safe or equally risky. There is nothing to pick between Zerodha and HDFC Securities as such. I hope that answers your question, Akshat. And just to add, my investments go through Zerodha. Awesome. I like this. There are a lot of questions coming up. Those of you just joined in, number of participants have gone up substantially. I know you're expecting Anil Menon sir to be with you. I am just filling in on him. I'm expecting him very soon. I'm looking for my mobile phone. It's gone. Karthik has a question which I saw now. Should we invest in Nifty Next 50 funds? Absolutely good for long term, Karthik. Wonderful, wonderful index. This is the number 51 to number 100 of India's biggest market cap company. Totally worth investing because if you study the market for the last 25 years, I mean, my entire life is in financial markets totally, right? So when you study, a lot of next 50 companies come into index, come into Nifty, the main index. So they keep growing, the profitability is good. So absolutely good index. UTI has a very good index fund. UTI Nifty Next 50 fund, absolutely worth investing in without any fund manager risk, without any risk of the fund manager's view going wrong. And I think it comes at an expense ratio of 0.1% per annum. Can't get cheaper than that any investment product in India. 0.1% per annum. I think the only thing cheaper is the Bharat bond, but not comparable. Bharat bond is on the bond side, obviously. I've got a next question now from Nikhil. Hi, Nikhil. Good morning. Good afternoon. Is it good practice to sell put of a share instead of buying the share? Good question, Nikhil. I will be talking about derivatives today. I hope we get the time for it. So today's session, Anilji wanted me to speak on overseas investing and a little bit of derivatives. So Nikhil, I will answer that question later on. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful strategy which I use a lot in my portfolio building also. But I hope you know there are some interesting facets. For example, you need to then eventually be willing to buy the entire lot size, Nikhil. So for example, SBI is currently trading at, let's say, 185, and you are comfortable buying SBI at, let's say, 150, for example. Now, I hope you know lot size of SBI is 3000, right? So you should be willing to buy 3000 quantity of SBI. Only then this strategy makes sense. So if you are interested in investing 50,000 or 1 lakh or 2 lakhs in SBI, but you do one lot is 3000, that will be a problem. If you can buy the entire lot size, wonderful strategy. This became popular out of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett made this public about how he did it long back. It's a very old strategy. Absolutely wonderful way of entering into a stock. I'll be talking about it later today in the official session. I haven't started it. I am just filling in on Anil sir as of now. I hope you got your answer, Nikhil. I am not able to obviously. Naresh ji has a question. What general cost should be aware of? Oops, it's gone. There is a question. Yeah. What kind of general cost should be one aware of in investments, initial maintenance, exit cost? So in the world of investments, you should be absolutely be careful about what is called as upfront cost. So you should see whether any product has an upfront cost or an entry load, as we call it. So in mutual funds, there is nothing. You can enter without any cost. Just from July 1st, we have a stamp duty now. Stamp duty has been introduced in mutual funds just from 2 days back, 3 days back. So there is a very small 5 rupees for a 1 lakh rupees kind of an investment that you'll have to pay. So moment you invest, government will charge stamp duty from you. If you're talking about equity, there is brokerage. You have to worry about brokerage that you are paying on the equity shares. If you're talking about insurance, very dangerous. Insurance has a lot of cost. You have to be very careful about. It is very possible that there are insurance policies where you invest a premium of 50,000 in the first year, 50, out of which 20% is just gone as cost, upfront cost, gone. Push. मतलब 50 में से सीधा 40,000 ही आपका actually benefit हुआ है. So it is possible in insurance. Insurance is a dangerous business. You have to be very careful about what you're getting into. Other than that, mutual funds have only stamp duty as of now, recently introduced, but very negligible. Equity has broking. When you're exiting, mutual funds have exit load. A lot of mutual funds have exit load, 0.5% or 1% when you're exiting within certain time frame. You can check that in each of the mutual fund case. Insurance has a lot of penalties for exiting in between. They may not give you premium back or a lot of value can be lost. So insurance, as I said, don't use it for investment at all. I would never ever recommend it. I hope that answers your question, Naresh ji. Samarth has a question. I've got a question from Samarth. Any better investment option than PPF for tax deduction benefit? So better, I don't know, Samarth, what is better? Because see, in the tax deduction, you get PPF, you get NPS, National Pension Scheme, which is a separate tax deduction you can get. NPS, if used well, can be a decent investment option also. In fact, you can choose an NPS, National Pension Scheme product based on your risk profile. So there can be a equity component also in that. ELSS is a good option if you want to invest for long term in equity, equity linked savings schemes, ELSS. So the entire rupees 1,50,000 under Section 80C can be invested in mutual fund scheme called ELSS. That's a good option. 3 years lock in, and after 3 years you can redeem the money if you want to go into equity. So it's a pure equity fund. Couple of very good ELSS is available out there which has done well. So it depends. On the fixed income side, no, nothing better than PPF on the fixed income side. The returns that PPF gives tax free, close to 7.5-8% is awesome. Nothing will come close to it. Nothing. Equity, if you want to consider ELSS. So you can split also. If you want to create a very well balanced portfolio, you can split between the two and then do it for long term. Sure, Karthik. One follow up question on Bharat Bond. Should we go for NFO or existing? Existing, if you buy from secondary markets, you may actually get a discount to their official price. So opportunistically, you can look at existing secondary market schemes because you may get a discount to its current market price. So it's a very good opportunity. In April, some of the Bharat bonds which were issued last year were available at a 8% discount to the official market value, 8%. So the moment you buy, you're actually buying gold at 8% lower officially. And then you hold till maturity, you will still get your tax deduction. So always a good idea to look at secondary market to buy. And you may get a discount also because of selling more than buying sometimes in the market. I hope I'm not missing out any question because some questions are coming on the chat and some questions are coming on the Q&A. There's a question from Harshil. Hi, Harshil. Good morning. So, unfortunately, Harshil, you joined a little late, so I'll quickly answer it again. How good is Bharat Bond ETF? Is Harshil's question. Harshil, not a bad option at all. Bharat Bond ETF is fairly good, very low cost, almost zero cost, and they're doing well in terms of tracking all the bonds they're supposed to track. So, not a bad option at all. Bharat Bond ETF, Harshil. I discussed about it a little while back. So,
Hari sir, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Not good morning, good afternoon.
good afternoon, sir. You were missed. You were missed a lot.
I'm sorry, sir, but I should thank you for taking questions and ensuring that all these participants' time is not wasted. I sincerely apologize to the participants. There was a parallel session uh, of my guru, my mentor, who was taking the class, and that was supposed to get over at 11:40, but it went off so very well that I immediately requested Hari sir to step in and please answer queries. So your time is not wasted. I'm sure sir has answered your queries, and now we start today's session. I start with an apology, but again, as I said, time was not wasted because I had immediately informed Harish sir that please answer queries. So we start the session. Maybe in another 5 minutes, many more will join in. We just finished the session. Harish sir, could you just summarize what you just told the dear colleagues, sir? And Vinayak ji, can you give me the share option, please?
Sure.
Sir, I just answered random questions from all over the spectrum. So I answered questions on.
Why I'm requesting you is, many people will now come, so they should also get just a short summary, like
Yeah.
Shankar Mahadevan, right? Breathless summary, right? Which we Menons are famous for.
Sure. So what I just answered as some of the questions was, I hope I can remember most of it. Zerodha is as safe a broker as any other broking house. There was a question about which broker is safe. All brokers are safe. Zerodha is in fact very well funded and very highly profitable. I also invest personally through Zerodha. For mutual fund investment, Covera is a good platform. There was a question on Covera. Covera is a very good platform for investing in mutual funds, not a problem at all. I have been using it for little more than 2 years for myself and many of my clients. Bharat Bond ETF is a wonderful option for investing in fixed income. At almost zero cost, Bharat Bond ETF is a wonderful product that you can get into. Sovereign Gold Bond is very, very useful if you want to invest in gold for long term. You get a tax reduction after 8 years of holding. You can consider buying sovereign bonds from secondary market. You will sometimes get a discount in the secondary market. Index funds are better than ETFs. I got that question today. ETFs or index funds. ETFs in India as of now are not highly liquid, so I would not recommend it at this point. Please go for index funds. You get index funds on Nifty, Nifty Next 50, and mid cap. You get an index fund on mid cap also. So please consider that over ETF. Gilt funds, I wouldn't recommend at this point in time because it has interest rate risk. So if you invest in gilt fund today, over a period of time, you might have, in the short run, not a very good rate of return. I would not recommend gilt funds at this particular point in time for investment. PPF is a good option for tax benefit, wonderful option on the fixed income side. On the equity side, if you want tax benefit, consider ELSS, equity linked saving schemes. You will be able to build equity and also get tax benefit out of that. Endowment plans of most insurance companies, I would not suggest. The IRR is not very good. I think that's it, sir. I have summarized most of the questions.
Uh, One very important thing which sir mentioned and I clarified, sir, I'm sending links to many colleagues. They are suddenly asking me for the link. Dear colleagues, you can buy sovereign gold bonds even from the markets, That's what sir told me. And he said, not necessary that, you should always buy right from the primary market. Sir, Krishna is okay, so I'll start my screen share. Harish sir can go on mute. I will start my screen share. Amazing session today. Colleagues, it's very simple. Today, last week we celebrated exports. So in lieu of that, I immediately called Harish sir and said, can we talk to them, talk to all these dear colleagues about international investments? Can we talk to them about international investments? So that was the idea. So I and Harish sir, we prepared something. Honestly, I did a bit. Harish sir has done the most. Okay. I again repeat, I've started working now. So, but I'll still continue this because a lot of people are still dying hungry. I will still continue this forum till I get sponsors. All right, I'll get experts to speak. All we need is sponsorship, right, to keep this going. Things are difficult. Plus, I've also started work. Okay, I'm trying to go to people and help. I have to earn my living also. I'm not Dr. Shrikant, right? Right, and I should thank Harish sir that I told him and he prepared most of it. He prepared most of it. And today we are talking about international investments. We are talking about international investments. As expected, kids are joining in now. जिसको इसको link चाहिए डाल दीजिए. So I will start my screen share. The first 15 minutes is about giving you the background of the class. I will not only thank my sponsors, I will also tell you something about international securities, light of, right? So yes, disclaimer, today is Guru Purnima. Harish sir, you are younger to me, but you are a guru in financial investments. Sir, can I have you on screen? I want to say my namaste to you. You are a guru in investments. I have learned a lot from you in terms, sir, don't speak please, right? In terms of investments, right? You might be 10 years younger to me, but your achievements in the field of financial wellness is amazing. So class, I also got into trouble with some investments because I did not review. Okay, I'm not blaming anybody here. I did not review. I was stupid that I was engaged in something else. I did not review my investments and I suffered a loss. Anil Menon suffered a loss. So I went to Harish sir. I've been chatting with Harish sir, but never talked to him professionally. Okay, right? Because we used to go and train in one particular institute. And those people used to tell me he's very good, very good. So I went to him and then he told me a couple of things. Man, this 5 mutual funds, no, Anil sir, is very bad. Why did you invest in first 5 mutual funds? And I was like, sir, I'm sorry. I thought this is very good funds. I've done my research. He said, no. Doing research is important, but being in touch with the market is important. Do you realize that the fund manager has changed? And I was like, sorry, I didn't know. He said, of course they have changed. The fund manager has changed and they are in big trouble. Have you gone through their fact sheet? I said, yes, I've gone through their fact sheet. He asked me when? I said, sir, 1 year back. He said, 1 year back? 1 year back, Vodafone was a great debt product to have. Today, Vodafone is under default. Anil sir, I'm sorry, you should review your position better. Halke se fatka diya. That's where I realized review is extremely important. And you need, if you can do it yourself, great. I can't. So I then immediately said, Harish sir, please handle my investments here. I'm a small person. I'm not as wealthy as the Bianis and the Shahs of India. But thoda portfolio, please analyze. And then I started discussing. Today, because he's handling my portfolio, and I'm saying that publicly, I am able to understand what's happening in the market. So thank you very much, sir. On this Guru Purnima day, I want to thank you as my guru, right? Though you are younger to me, guru is about spreading knowledge. It's not about elder or younger. I thank Dr. Shrikant. Today's session on Heartache was absolutely mind-boggling because I met Dr. Parimal Marchant after about 1.5 months. He's in Dubai. I don't meet him physically nowadays, but he was there. He was guiding all of us. Okay. And I thank all of you all, the super leaders, each one of you all. Some of you all have started visiting, talking, right? I don't take too much of phone calls now because my health is slightly getting down. It's not that I don't want to. My health is getting into an issue. That's why I'm translating everything into Telegram, started by my kid, Mr. Hiten. And there you have experts like Anjay ji, Gani, who is guiding each one of us. So my request है, अगर personal queries डालना है तो बेटे Telegram में डालिए. You will get better opinion than me also. I am just one person. They give you better advice. Amit Agarwal, Aruj Agarwal gives very good very good knowledge on insurance. Harish sir is there on that platform. He'll teach about investments, right? तो उसमें डालिएगा बेटे. हाँ, अगर आप तकलीफ में हो, NPA है, दिक्कत है तो पर्सनल पे डालिए. I respond. देखिए बेटे 0.5% रिडक्शन इन इंटरेस्ट रेट आप मुझे डालोगे, मैं आंसर करूंगा बिकॉज आई कंसिडर इट माय ड्यूटी. बट फिर क्या होता है, एक हेल्थ सफर हो रहा है, सेकंड दूसरा फैमिली टाइम जा रहा है, तीसरा जो बच्चों को एक्चुअली हेल्प लग रहा है ना उधर ध्यान नहीं जा रहा है मेरा, एंड आई एम फीलिंग बैड. अभी कल सबको आंसर करते करते मैंने रियलाइज किया एक बच्चे का एनपीए हो गया है. ही वाज आस्किंग मी अबाउट स्ट्रेस्ड एसेट, स्ट्रेस्ड डेट. वो बच्चे ने 2 दिन पहले मेरे को व्हाट्सएप डाला था, बट मैंने वो आंसर ही नहीं किया क्योंकि आई वाज आंसरिंग ऑल दैट अदर पीपल एंड ये बच्चा छूट गया. तो अगर एकदम तकलीफ में है तो प्लीज बेटे पर्सनल पे डालिए, मैं रेस्पॉन्ड करूंगा. हाँ, 0.5%, 0.7%, 1% रिडक्शन ग्रुप में डालिए. हाउ डू यू डू दिस, इंश्योरेंस का क्या है, ग्रुप में डालिए. आई विल ऑब्वियसली कमेंट, मैं बताऊंगा हाउ टू डू. उद्योग आधार, उद्यम आधार अंजय जी है, ही इज बेटर देन मी, तो वो बेटर रहेगा प्लेटफॉर्म. Having said this, thank you very much. We start. I want to remember all my teachers today. right? You should also remember your teachers, all of you all, Harish sir, everybody. Abhishek, remember your teachers, right? This 2-minute video is for our teachers at different stages in life. Dhoond ke nikala YouTube se. Acha laga. There's nothing about religion here. It's all about teachers. It's all about teachers. Okay. Please understand this. One sec to let me just. So that's about it. Okay. So thank you very, very much, all my teachers. I think this day is for the teachers, right? I think somewhere the society, we believe the Indian society has changed. It's more about oneself. Don't look at others. That's where these gurus matter a lot, right? When I say this, I'm sure Ketan sir would agree with me, the respected senior who always is a part of my course, right? Please note, my only advice to youngsters is karma pays, right? I don't want to keep saying this, right? We are now running short of subscriptions. We are running short of sponsorships. I was talking to Ms. Rajshri Sai, and she also said the same thing. Looks like financial tightness has come in. I said, yes, but then I'm sure my students will stand up. We also have to do something now for our students, right? So sessions will continue. Maybe I'll have to change my business model without putting too much of financial pressure on us. But my motive is very simple. The undertrodden and the poor will get my first preference, right? Businesses, yes. Through businesses, I want to help them. So my mission is very simple. Nobody in India should die hungry. Nobody in India should die hungry, right? Thank you very much. Still a lot of work to be done. Rajshri Sai and Ashlisha ji, CS and Advocate Rajshri Sai and Technocrat Rajshri Sai and CA Ashlisha. Thank you for the great job that you have been doing. Love you all. My sponsors, Vismay, Hiranya, I have given a subtle hint that my sponsorships are, our sponsorships are falling, right? But no problem. I'm sure it will pick up, right? I need to work more. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, the Pai brothers and the Parsi partners. Thank you, Prasad Khattav. Love you. God bless you. Wonderful meeting your dad. Real technocrat. Love you. Salute you. Doing projects abroad. Hartek Simmer, my kid, right, who got me into this form today. He is also a guru because he's brought out the real me, if I can say this, right? They say that in Ramayana, even Lord Hanuman did not know what power he possessed. I should confess, I never realized that I could do so much for society. Thank you. My kid, right, Akshay Kalyanpur and his lovely wife, I met them personally, right? I have started working. Nothing is going to keep me at home now. I've started working, of course, with safety precautions, right? I will, because, you know, it's very easy to say, stay at home, stay healthy. We have a family to support. We have businesses to support. So I'm out there. Whatever limited time I am, I met this lovely family. I saw their plant built from scratch from a gentleman who did not have a full pant to wear during college. So Akshay was so proud of his father. He was saying that my dad did not have a full pant to wear to go to college, because he was so ashamed to go to college. Full pant nahi tha. Wahan se inhone, today this entire Sridevi group is supporting 450 employees. So if Anil Menon does not help, Anil Menon is not helping Akshay or his sweet wife. Anil Menon is helping 450 employees and their families. Very simple logic of my working. Love you, Manjarekas, Sunanda family. Love you, Liv Satvik, all young mothers. I think now's the time to go for this. For the challenging times, you should please, I'm prescribing this. This is important. The lovely Shah family, love you all. Manas for all his love and affection, right? His wife I've not even taught her, but wherever I meet her, I know she means business, marketing. She's trying to support the group. Who said daughters can't play a role? Who said daughter-in-laws can't play a role? If you want examples, please visit this group and you will see what daughter-in-laws can do. All right. You can understand from this group. There's a message to society, right? Yogesh group, love him, right? His father called me after my class and, you know, he spoke in Marathi and I have spoken Marathi after a long time. I am an SSC student in Marathi. I got around 85 marks. I was doing very well. But then when I used to speak Marathi, people used to laugh. And stupid that I was, I stopped speaking Marathi because somebody was laughing at me. Deepak Agarwal, when he was speaking English, everybody made fun of him. But he continued speaking. Ask Viral Jain, FMB 10. Ask Sumit Kabra, I'll tell you. Right? He kept speaking in English. And when I asked him, he had only one thing to tell me. Tomorrow when I face the media, no, right? I will speak in English. That time, nobody should make fun of me. These are all my colleagues. I should have learned this lesson in 91, but now I have decided to improve. I'll speak in Marathi. So what? If somebody makes fun of me, I will still improve. Simple. Right? Lovely. Right? Hiranji, thank you very much. They have started their preschool. They are into textile trading. Today's sponsor, absolutely amazing boy. Absolutely amazing boy. Right? Phone, right? They are into lubricants. They have started a Hotel Starway. Love this kid. He's from Orissa. He's doing a great job. I wanted to announce him as the sponsor last time, but he said, "नहीं sir, मत बताना. I will not be attending your class." सीधा बोल दिया. मैं बोला क्यों भाई? बोलता I'm attending a food processing class, and that is more important for me. Then I asked him, "Are you expanding?" He said, "Of course I'm expanding." I said, "किसमें expand कर रहे हो?" He's going for the second hotel. I said, तो यार बच्चे क्या हो रहा है यार? Hotel industry is not doing well. Why are you going for a second hotel? He's saying, very simple, na sir. Land prices are very cheap, and where I come from, he comes from a tier 4. I'm reading from the mobile now. I come from a tier 4 town of India, Balasore, Odisha. It is known as the missile town of India because this is Abdul Kalam Island. Oh, now I wonder where he gets his inspiration. If you have heard of Chandipur, it is the second largest in India after Sri Harikota. Presently, our hotel industry is down. We are operating at 10% occupancy, but it has given me the time to do critical thinking. From last 3 months, our family has focused on parent business of manufacturing of industrial and automobile lubricants. Perfect example of diversification. This kid is teaching us diversification. We have a small refinery. We make different types of oils. Now, because of COVID, materials from other states are not reaching Odisha. So demand for my products have gone up. Love you. He's doing well. He's saying, because it is not coming, we are doing well. Okay, God bless him. And we don't want to miss this opportunity. Keyword. In fact, we are looking for something like this to happen. Now, on a lighter note, I wonder how many of you have caused COVID to happen because you are doing very well. Okay. So on a lighter note, we all know who is responsible, the rogue nation. Rest regarding hotel diversification, right? My elder brother initially was against it, but once we took it, right, the family was a team. Now everybody is satisfied. By the way, please note, initial there was some discussion. After that, they worked as a team. Today, pre-COVID, it was 70%. Now they are thinking of expanding because land rates have reduced, and IDCO is also allotting land for hotel industry. So this kid is now going to get into hotel, and the reason why he didn't want to attend my last class is he wanted to do something in food, very, very blunt, food processing. That's why we attended the classes on food processing as suggested by me. So many dala tha Telegram group mein and Captain Aditya. We believe in last slide. We believe in earning money from all 4 directions. Like we have house rent, lubricant business, hotel business, and now looking at agri sector, right? As there are no local players, right? There are only MNCs. So he wants to make in India. Captain Aditya, you have inspired people more and more. God bless. They are looking at agriculture. Captain Aditya wants to form a separate Telegram group for agriculture. I said, please go ahead. Only thing is, post 1 or 2 articles on agriculture in the group, see the interest, and then form the Telegram group. I'm proud to say, as his teacher, a separate Telegram group is going to be formed by Captain Aditya Pathak only for agriculture. And I'm happy to bless it because I think that's going to change the face of Indian businesses, Indian society, and Indian farmers. Okay, this is my kid. Love him. Right. God bless. Adarsh. Love you, bache. Right. This is his hotel. Right. It's a business boutique hotel in Tier 4 part of India. This is his lovely family. Lovely, lovely family. He starts with his daughter. He starts with the daughter saying Anushka. Right. Elder brothers, right. Kids, Suhani and Samar. The lady in the red sari is his wife, Priyanka. Okay. So that's Priyanka ji. Right. Green sari is my Babi. Okay. Right. Elder brother just behind in the picture. A very happy family right there. And mom is on the extreme right. And look what he has to say about his mother. He says, Adarsh says, this is what I've done in business. I'm doing well. My wife looks at the hotel conference part. My elder brother took over he has very high respects for his elder brother. Took over the business in 2002 and took it to the next level. He talks about his Bhabi. He says she's a housewife. She's right. She supports the family. And then he says something about his mother. He says his mother is my superhero. She is the support system of my family. Love these words. This is for all the ladies who sacrifice their careers to ensure that there is a good family that they have. Yesterday, we had a discussion with Parimal sir about a role of grooming daughters in family business. And there's one point I made and I humbly submit, let the lady decide. She knows what is good for herself. We are nobody to decide what they want. So for me, I'm very clear. My wife decides what she wants to do. My mother in 1985 started a small tuition center. Today, my wife runs it and she's pretty happy. So it's about the ladies, right? All of your, if you're comfortable managing business, do it. If you're managing family, you're happy, do it. If you want a work-life balance, do it. The choice is yours. And we as a society, we should support them. Yes, then he comes in and says something about his father. He says his father is the founder, right? He still looks after all the companies, even at the age of 65. This is the gentleman. He has given me a separate photograph of his father. He says, whatever little my family is because of my father. God bless, right, you, Bache, for the respect that you have for the elders, right? And now we come to the main topic. The main topic, thank you once again. These are my sponsors for today. Thank you very, very much. God bless this lovely family with all the success. And more importantly, peace of mind and happiness, right? Love you all. The session continues now. It's about financial planning. We started this, right? We said, why financial planning? It's a thing I've been saying, have smart goals. Don't talk in air, put numbers down. Please, please put numbers down. I will repeat this slide till you do it. Please keep formats, prepare an investment plan, implement, and then evaluate on regular basis, right? My mantra is simple today because I am doing something else, which is draining me of my financial resources. Harish sir knows it. I'm doing this SIP and SWP. The day my project gets over, incidentally, for all those who are not aware, your professor has also become a small-time real estate builder. Not that I'm building it, I'm getting it done. The only thing is, if the project is going like Taj Mahal, right? It's taken 5 years for me to construct it. I hope it doesn't become a Taj Mahal, which cost 20 plus years to complete. But anyway, I wanted this experience of doing business in Kerala, which is supposed to be the toughest part of India. And I'm inspired by respected George sir and others who are not only helping me, but also making me understand what is the pain of business in India. So I was very good as a consultant. This entire experience of real estate has made me a better human being, a better teacher, because I can feel the pain of businesses today. What is it to get a license? How insulting people can be when you go to them for a power sanction and things like that. Yes, this is what we wanted to tell you about. Harish sir is ready. Apple has done extremely well. So we have been focusing on India specific things, right? Now, can we talk about international securities? Right? Can you invest sitting in India? Can you invest in an Apple? Can you invest in a Microsoft? Can you invest in a FANG? FANG is Facebook, Apple, right? Netflix, right? Google. Can you invest? And of course, right? Amazon. Can you invest in a FANG sitting in India? The answer is yes. So today's discussion is all about, right? Harish sir will start and then I will conclude. Is all about international investments. I give it to respected financial guru Harish sir. Right, over to you, respected sir. I'm stopping the share and back to you, sir. Yes, sir. Last time you rocked with your incremental IRR. I can't still get over it. I don't know how you did it, but that figures just keep playing in my mind, that incremental IRR. Go ahead, sir. Super.
Thank you so much, sir. So I will only speak about international investing, right? As of now?
Yes, as of today. We continue this next Sunday, sir. This is getting extended. This is getting extended beyond July 10th.
Awesome, sir. So let me just share my screen. So this is where I had ended last time, and I would like to remind again, as Anil sir also likes to remind important things. I also want you to remind about important things, which is don't try to complicate your investment portfolio. Always have a core bucket in your portfolio. The largest chunk of your portfolio should be core. Core products are simple, not complex, not very risky. So if you're talking about equity index funds or large cap funds, if you're talking about debt, PPF or a Bharat bond ETF or a safe mutual fund, not risky mutual fund, not funds which takes a lot of risk. That should be your core bucket. So your core bucket should be your strongest part of the portfolio. If your core buckets can achieve all your goals, awesome. If you still have some excess money left, that is when you play around. That is when you experiment. That is when you start investing it in risky things. You want to buy a credit risk fund. Don't do it in your core bucket. You want to invest in a small cap stock, don't invest it in your core bucket. Keep that extra if you have any extra money. If you only are starting to build a portfolio, don't start with extravagant experimental stuff. Build to core assets, safe, long term, less cost, simple products. Also, I told you last time also, please maintain records and share it with your near and dear ones. Otherwise, life is very complicated and uncertain. You cannot plan your exit from this world, unfortunately. I always share this with my class when I do it on personal finance. I would like to answer this question in a joking way. Suppose, imagine, there is a funeral and a person has died, and that person obviously has left behind liabilities and assets and insurance and everything. So the family members would be wondering, right, what assets and wealth did the person leave for me? I hope in your case and in my case, in everybody else's case, the answer should not be this, that ये राज भी उसी के साथ चला गया. This would be a very bad thing to happen. This is a very famous movie called Welcome. You shouldn't do this. Shouldn't do this at all.
I can tell you one thing. I have ensured that even Harish sir has now started cracking jokes. I'm so happy. This is brilliant. Sir, please continue.
So don't do this. Don't let the secret of what is your investments, what are your financial position from your family. Now, investing outside India, I would start with a very important thing here. I don't think this should be a part of your core bucket. Core bucket is your main part of the portfolio, which is you're going to hold for long term, and most of your goals will be achieved out of that. Investing outside India should not be the first thing you should look at, because in India also there are enough opportunities. The world is investing in India. So we have a lot of businesses here doing well. So I don't think your initial money should go into investing outside India. But many of us obviously have a big portfolio. You've already invested in a lot of Indian assets, and now you want to look at investing outside India. Awesome. That is one way of looking at it. The second way of looking at investing outside India is many investors in India who are, let's say, in their 30s, for example, or even 40s. They have a child. Suppose I am a 30-year-old person. I have a 3-year-old baby, 3-year-old girl child, right? Now she's 3. My vision, and obviously she will grow up and she will decide everything for her. But let's assume my vision is her higher education should be done in US or UK or Scotland or Canada. Higher education. So obviously when she turns, let's say 18, 19, and when she goes out, you have like 15 years to build a corpus which will fund her higher education outside India. If you have a plan like this, if you have a goal like this, it makes a lot of sense for you to build your assets outside India. Imagine your future liability and expenses will be outside India. Build an asset also outside India. This is one more reason why investing outside India makes sense. One is diversification, just to have some part outside India. Second is, I repeat, you want to fund some of your future expenses. Usually it is children's higher education, where a lot of Indians now, I know in my clientele also, they want to send their children to outside India for higher studies. So they will need dollars, they will need euro, they will need pounds. So you can build such assets over a period of time. That can be done. So I'll suggest some of the options, and then if you have any questions, as usual, I'll be happy to answer. Do remember, unless you're doing business of import or you're paying for some contracts, etc., for investment purpose, there is a limit of $2.5 lakh per annum. I'm sure most of you know it. This is under the liberalized remittance scheme. In fact, it's a very recent thing. Few years back, RBI allowed up to $2.5 lakh. Before that, under FERA, we used to have FERA. Anil sir would remember those very old days of draconian FX laws. And then FEMA came in, Foreign Exchange Management Act. And FEMA liberalized a lot of things. Now we have $2.5 lakh per annum that you can invest overseas per year. This is for your overseas investment purpose.
Harish sir, with your permission. So FEMA, all of you are just taking 30 seconds. FERA, please go and check with your seniors. Right. So, right, it is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. Anybody dealing with foreign exchange was suspect under the eyes of the government. So because we were a scarce country, because of our government policies. As respected Harish sir very correctly said, one of the key liberalization that happened in India was FERA was changed to FEMA. FEMA stands for Foreign Exchange Management Act. So today, please note, sir ne repeatedly number bola and he will repeat it again. You are legally allowed to invest this amount. Okay, legally allowed to invest this amount. Right, sir? Can you please repeat the amount because I'm making notes. I've decided from now onwards I'll start writing articles also. So please go ahead.
So per annum, 250,000 US dollars or whatever is the equivalent in other currencies. So if you're investing in euro, it will not be 250,000 euro. They will give you equivalent to whatever is $250,000 in whatever currency. If you're investing some part in dollars, some part in euro assets, some part in pound assets, the total in a year cannot cross legally, as Anil sir said, 250,000 US dollars. I am not going to discuss any illegal ways of doing it. How can you do it? First option, you can buy stocks listed in US, listed in UK, listed in Singapore, listed in Hong Kong. If you know about stocks there, by the way, I told you earlier also, buying direct stocks are not easy at all. If you want to buy shares of Facebook, if you want to buy shares of Alphabet or Amazon, and if you're like, wow, these companies will do well, then you can invest through specific brokers only. We don't have an option where all brokers will allow you that. So a Zerodha or a Motilal Oswal or a HDFC Securities, etc., do not offer this portal or an option. There are brokers like Interactive Brokers, for example, which allows you a overseas investment option. Very high brokerage. They charge a very high brokerage as compared to what you would charge for Indian investments in stocks. So in India, literally today, you have zero brokerage. Like Zerodha and many other brokers have zero brokerage of investing in shares in India. But for US or non-Indian stocks, there will be high brokerage. It goes in some cases up to 5% also. So depends upon the liquidity of the stock, depends upon which exchange are you talking about outside India. It goes up to 5% also. Be very careful about what is the cost you are paying. And remember, this is money going outside India and the investment will happen under LRS, Liberalized Remittance Scheme, $2.5 lakh per annum. The second option that you have is you can actually open an investment account outside India. Now, there are, again, you need to check with your lawyer or a FX expert about ways to do it. If you're a company, if you're doing a business at a company level, this is much easier. As an individual, this is more complex. I am not getting into the nitty-gritties of legalities, but if you're running a company, if you have a foreign operation, awesome. It makes it very easy for you to have a investment account outside India. A place which I would recommend is very practical. Many of my clients have done that, is in Dubai. Dubai, Kozai, India, just a jump away. Dubai is easier to reach sometimes as compared to even from Delhi to Chennai. Dubai is more liberal. You can, from Dubai, invest anywhere in the world. So there are options that you can get through Dubai. There are a lot of players in Dubai, entities in Dubai who help you set up the account legally. You may then start investing in so many different products which are not available in India. So if you are in India as a resident Indian, you have limited options to invest overseas. You can open an account in Dubai, suppose you can as a company or in some way. You have to look at the legality. Amazing. The entire world of options open up in terms of how many options you have to invest in outside Dubai kind of, outside India kind of market. So always consider that option also. Third is Indian mutual funds. Mutual funds in India have portfolios that invest in foreign equity securities. So this doesn't come under LRS now because you're investing in India. You're investing in an Indian mutual fund in rupees. They will then invest in foreign assets. So they can again buy shares of Facebook or Amazon in their portfolio. There are various schemes in India which either run a multi-capitalization fund or they run what is called as an overseas index fund, like S&P 500, NASDAQ funds, or there is something called fund of funds. There are 2 or 3 ways in which they have structured it. Indian mutual fund. So this $2.5 lakh per limit will not be applicable for you. This is like you're investing in India in rupees. Part of that is invested by the mutual fund in foreign or the entire money can be invested by them in foreign index or foreign securities. This is also an option that you can consider if you want to invest in the overseas stock markets. Now, all of this, option number 1, option number 2, option number 3, primarily is to diversify, is to just have an overseas portfolio also. I also spoke about this amazing important goal of foreign education for your children. If that's a goal, then option number 2 is good for that, because you will be able to create a lot of assets outside India. Option number 1 and 3 will not be necessarily good for that part. I would suggest not getting into stocks if you're not sure about how to build it. Next option is, there are various investment plans, and I have come across so many of them, offered by foreign insurance company. For example, Swiss Re. Swiss Re is an insurance company, or Zurich Re, all Switzerland based usually, or wealth management firms like UBS, Credit Suisse, BNP Paribas, HSBC. So if you are a client of private banking teams of Credit Suisse, they come out with a lot of products where you invest up to $2.5 lakh in a dollar denominated asset or a euro denominated asset, where slowly, gradually you build a dollar asset in your books. The benefit will be after 15 years, that same money can be used for your educational expenses of your children if you want to, or some of the clients want to invest overseas, they want to buy a property. There are many countries who offer you citizenship if you invest in a property in that country. So you can do that. There are a lot of investment plans. Again, each plan will have its pros and cons. You have to obviously be careful about what you are getting into. I'm just discussing various options. Next is not doing any of this. There is one more option where you can simply, being in India, use what is called as derivative markets and purchase dollar or euro, JPY, yen. JPY is Japanese yen, or Great Britain pound, UK pound. You can buy any of these in the Indian markets. No limit, because this is investing in India. So you're going to keep buying on this foreign currency. But remember, it is only getting the benefit of that foreign currency. You are not going to get the actual foreign currency. So this is not useful for investing overseas and creating dollar assets. So the last option is only if you want to use it just as a diversification angle, because rupee depreciates against dollar typically. So if you have dollars and if rupee depreciates, you'll have a profit in your portfolio. For that, you can, in India, use futures and options. We will be covering derivatives in the next session, where I will explain you how that also can be done if you want to, without any investment limit under LRS. This is what is the options that is available. Anil sir, that is what I have. If any of you have any questions.
I'd like to take questions, and I should also confess, sorry, don't laugh. I skipped my breakfast, so I was on video listening, typing, and also eating. So I should confess that, right? But sir, I have typed everything. You can see the chat. I have not missed a single thing. If you see anything I missed, please tell the class. I don't want to miss anything. So the first summary, very simple summary. You can invest up to $2.5 lakh abroad. That's completely legal, right? There are various routes of doing it. We'll take questions, right? If you take these questions, it will be a pleasure. Please don't ensure that nothing illegal is being discussed here, because any violation of FEMA is dreadful. It's dreadful. Okay, so please watch out for that, right? I know some of us are very, very clean. Some of us still like to take risk of certain transactions, which I believe starts with the letter H and ends with the letter A. I am not sure what is that letter, but anyway, please be careful. This government is monitoring very strictly. And I personally believe that the bigger fish may get away, but the smaller fish, just to create noise, may happen. The sad news today is, I don't know sad news, but the news today is somebody who built the Mumbai International Airport Limited itself being hauled up and raids are being conducted. So point is, please just be clear. Very, very good comment that has come in. You can go through specific brokers. But the brokerage may be very high. It can go up to 5%. Sir, it keeps on talking about Zerodha. Even in our personal conversations, he says it's a great platform For mutual funds, sir has been telling my wife, who is a better in record keeping, much better than me, not better, much better than me. Sir has been recommending Kuvera. I'm not saying this because I'm sitting at home. She's nowhere here, but the fact is, I think the ladies have a much better job in record keeping. So if you could do that, because we tend to be either short of time or simply because, you know, I am lazy, right? I have other priorities. I have other priorities. I don't think I'm lazy, but I have other priorities. Vaibhav Mohata, my kid, super sponsor, he's also come in and he's saying this. HDFC Bank is offering this facility known as Invest Now through net banking. So wonderful. Thank you, Vaibhav. God bless you. Wonderful feedback. So if you are with HDFC Bank, please try Invest. Likhna, Krishna, likhna jara. Invest Now. My son is making notes because I have to now start writing articles. Sir says that if you are considering an overseas account, that was brilliant, especially if you want to send somebody outside for education, then please consider opening an account outside. Dubai, he says, is mini India. It's just a hop stop away. And we have this joke always, you know, traveling from Mumbai to Calcutta and Mumbai to Dubai, it's easier to go. And this is a joke at SPJ because we have our campus there, right? Liberalized limited scheme is what sir kept saying. It is under the scheme. You may like to know the scheme because colleagues like Gani are here and they want specifics, right? Because Gani, I believe, is using this knowledge to guide a lot of people. And knowing Gani, he would be doing it. So he is now an NRI. He says, if you don't want to do all this chakkar, Harish sir is very clear. Go through multi-cap or overseas index funds. They do not have any limit as they are investing in rupees, right? If you want examples of wealth managers, UBS is one very good example. Sir mentioned a couple of them more. And he says, if you want to really get into just not owning the asset, but getting the benefit of that, please consider futures and options. You'll get the benefits of that. We will have a separate session on derivatives and debt markets. It's my promise. This will continue for some more time. Thanks to your interest. Sir, you could just don't give the number. Just have a look at the number down on the number of participants. And you can see that it is only going up and up, right? Sadly, not reflecting in sponsorships, but viewers are going up and up. So that's the good thing. Now, this number of viewers, we should convert it into something else, which I will do myself. And sir, the question here from dear Abhishek, my kid is, can you spell out Kuvera and Zerodha? Spell it out for him.
ZERODHA KUVERA.
Abhishek, to my personal thing is, my wife rarely praises something, but after using Kuvera, she is extremely happy with Kuvera, right? Earlier we were on some other thing and she used to always keep complaining that, you know, I'm not understanding where their money is going. So Kuvera is extremely good. Trust Ms. Reshma Menon's word for it. Try Kuvera. It's an app. And again, I repeat, it doesn't cost anything. Am I right, Harish sir?
So if you are only trying to build one portfolio there, it's free. If you want a family portfolio, it is 100 rupees, or you can refer somebody and that will become free. Otherwise, it's 100 rupees.
No, sir, sorry, yes, sir, because sometimes my kids ask questions like this also. We had a participant who came and showed a lovely product for 1 lakh rupees per annum. And some of my kids, which is right also, said, can you give a discount? So sorry to ask this stupid question. Is it 100 rupees per month or 100 rupees per year?
One time.
One time 100 rupees. So class, please, no, sir, so you will laugh. Bachcho ka question hai, sir. I'm doing my job. That product was one of the best I've ever seen, right? And Viral Jain and others have now going for bulk orders. Viral never asked for discounts. He wrote to me saying, sir, why are you cutting the margin of Aditya? In fact, he was angry that I asked for a discount, but I went with what my students say. So one time 100 rupees that you can refer somebody and give it back also. Abhishek is too big, sir. 100 rupees, that was a joke for Abhishek. So, okay, now we'll take some more questions. One more very important feedback from Vaibhav. Vaibhav today is promoting HDFC a lot. I don't know. I think this is some arrangement. Vaibhav on a lighter note, don't mind. He's saying you can also invest in mutual funds, gold, and many other classes from Invest Now. Moment you say HDFC, Anil Menon's, suddenly Anil Menon's hair goes up. You know, there's a reason for that. Many kids would know. Especially the way the banking is done, I'm not quite happy. Great bank, but a fair weather friend is all I can say. A fair weather friend. For me, a friend is who will start with me in times of need. अभी अच्छा कर रहा है तो हरीश सर मेरे साथ है. कल मेरा बुरा वक्त आया तो हरीश सर बोलता है चल मेनन तू दोस्त नहीं है. तो वो नहीं होता है. But I believe HDFC is a great bank. You should invest in HDFC. They have some great products. But again, I'm warning all of you all. Please note, you need friends who will be with you even during tough times. I hear something about other banks also, like Axis, etc. All very, very good things. I just remembered Gani warning me. So all very, very good banks. Please consider these banks also. Any questions, please, before we start the next topic? So there are two things that we wanted to do for you all today. Any questions, please? Any questions, please type on the chat. So it was wonderful. So, right. So international, going with exports, we just linked to, we just clearly linked it to overseas investments. We'll wait for 2 minutes. If not, I want to devote the next time to talk about debt mutual funds, which was on the agenda, which will continue into the next session also. Right.
Sir, there are some questions in the Q&A box.
Yes. Vishal, I'm sorry, bete. I myself said that it should be in the Q&A and I kept looking at the chat. I publicly apologize. Sir, here it is. Sorry, Apurva. Thank you very much for your question. Sir, the question is, can a Dubai-based free FZE, sir, full form aap bataiye.
I think it's free zone entity or a free zone company.
Invest directly in US stocks.
Sir, I'm not sure. Very sorry. I'm not aware of their regulations in Dubai.
So Apurva, please wait. It is as sorry as of now, but Menons will come back with an answer and we'll post it in Telegram. We'll post it in Telegram. Thanks to, I don't know, मेरे को अच्छा लगता है thanks बोलने को. Thanks to all of you all. We are connected on Telegram on 24 hours. And Abhishek, I'm sleeping well nowadays. Don't worry. Okay. Should these overseas, this answer will come very soon on right Telegram, either Harish sir or I will talk to Parmeshwar sir, who is a Forex expert. By the way, next week again, we are continuing with experts. Huh? IDBI XMD is coming. IDBI XMD is coming. Baba, what else can I say? Right? IDBI XMD is coming to talk about foreign exchange financing. क्या हो क्या रहा है मेरे लाइफ में मुझे नहीं पता. These are people I look up to. मेरा भगवान है ये लोग सब. SBI chairman ये सब. वो लोग चैनल में आ रहे हैं. And they are saying, Anil sir, we would like to come. मैं बोलता Anil sir, बच्चा है यार इनके सामने मैं तो. Should these overseas index funds be part of core? अरे superb question here. Should be part of core bucket or since they are also index mutual funds? What a question.
I would suggest, Mihir, overseas index fund should be a part of your non-core. Your core should be in India because I think Indian funds will give you better than overseas funds over a period of time. So overseas fund should be a part of your non-core.
Wonderful response. The answer is, it's a suggestion. You can, all investments are at your own risk. Please read and consult your investment advisor before investing. D&D will keep applying. Disclosure and disclaimers. I go with Harish sir in saying that for me, this will be a satellite. It cannot be the core. India is still going to rock here. You guys are going to take India to the next level. Right. I have two components of my personal portfolio. Vishal ji again in SIP. ये लगता है बच्चा बहुत कुछ कर रहा है सर फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में बात करना पड़ेगा. Index fund 50% and fund of fund US Franklin Templeton opportunities 50%. I did some research on my own, so I'm very happy you've done some research. I don't know if I've taught this kid, but God bless. Is it okay for a 15-year perspective if someone told me that UDS will never go down?
USD.
Yeah,
I
USD.
think he's talking about USD. So obviously I don't have a view on USD for 15 years, but in general, dollar assets are useful if you want to create a dollar portfolio. So the idea is that 3-year-old child should probably study overseas after 15 years. Then whether USD will go down or go up, you should create a dollar asset. For that, your investments that you're doing is not a bad idea at all. See, when you're linking it to a goal and the goal is hopefully your child will study overseas, then the idea is not only returns. The idea is also about creating dollar assets over a period of time. So to that extent, yes, you can continue doing that, Vishal.
So please understand, if you want to send your child abroad to US, how does it matter if dollar will appreciate or depreciate? Because you have created an asset to match that liability, or you have created a liability to match that asset. Simple answer, lovely answer. And if any one of you all, sorry, I'm masti kar raha hu yaar, please don't feel bad. If any one of you all have a good perspective of what can happen in USD after 15 years, please call me, bete. You are the real guru. I will come and fall at your feet. Okay, because I can't see what will happen to dollar after 15 hours, given what Trump is doing. आप 15 years का कर सकते हैं तो बेटे मैं तो आओ यार, मेरा गुरु दक्षिणा मैं आपके पास ही सीखूंगा सब छोड़ के. That Trump is going bonkers, right? So don't take call on any currency is my request. Yes, Derivatives you can with a stop loss and target returns. And I'm too small to talk about derivatives in front of the guru of derivatives himself, right, Harish sir. We are going to do that a bit later. Sir, I did it when I didn't. Can I attend your incremental IRR class? Okay, colleagues, I think there's been a delay in uploading last week's sessions because Rahul ji is very busy, right? And I appealed on the Telegram group. Can somebody help me? And a gentleman by the name of Arpit, again, I don't even know him. I've not even met him. I've come on board. He said, I will do it for you, sir. I said, what will you charge me, young man? He said, nothing. And Prerit has right, got him in touch with me. So thank you, Prerit. Thank you, Arpit. Now the flow will continue. Rahulji was doing an amazing job, but uploading 4 videos every week is a humongous task. So we will come it out. And this incremental IRR, I think, was the best. According to me, I know Harish sir, but that was mind-boggling. Sir, how do we keep track of the shares, Karan Shah?
I'm assuming he's talking about overseas shares. Then Yahoo Finance is a good website where you will get all the company data. Yahoo Finance, Karan. Or sorry, sir.
No, sir.
Or if you are having an account with Interactive Brokers, they have a very good database that they share with their clients. It's expensive. Interactive Brokers is one of the more expensive brokers in India for overseas investment, and that also answers Karan's another question. He has also asked about international brokers. So do speak to Interactive Brokers and try and see what they offer you. But their database is very good and their systems are mind-blowingly strong, but expensive. They charge a very high brokerage. So quality, I think, sometimes comes at that cost.
Always, not sometimes. And I think as your guru students, I think one attitude we should change is that please pay proper fees to professionals. Please ensure that for them it is their time. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, अंजय जी भी है, सब बड़े लोग भी हैं, लेकिन प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड ये फ्री एडवाइस का चक्कर छोड़ दो बेटे, उनका भी घर होता है, राइट? If you see value for that price, I think then you should not negotiate. That is my request, right? Sir, very important question. Taxation matters for investments abroad. Is it same as applicable in India? Oh, Kaushik, very good question. Or are their taxes applicable?
No, we have a double taxation avoidance agreement with most of the known countries like US and UK, Singapore. So we will end up paying taxes here in India as a part of your normal taxes.
So it is all about DTA, double tax avoidance. Inder says, sir, please guide sovereign gold bonds reference. Where should we buy? I think sir was saying this before we joined the session. So sir said either you buy in the primary markets or you can buy in the secondary markets also. And I remember having a chat with respected Harish sir. He said, even if you buy in the secondary market, you get all the tax benefits. You get all the tax benefits. So don't worry. It is better to buy in the secondary market if you don't feel like applying in the primary market. So this came in when one of you all wrote to me saying you missed the issue. What do we do? So I went immediately to Harish sir and said, sir, ye bacche ne miss kiya, kya karna hai? He said, nothing to worry. Secondary markets mein trade ho raha hai. Ask him to buy from there. Then the next question I asked is, sub tax benefits milega kya? He said, of course milega. Same hi bond hai na, to usme problem kya hai? So the answer to this is either primary market. Government is coming out with issues every month. If you want to do it even now, immediately, secondary markets. Dear, can I say dear or Inderji, right? Inderji, right? Some more questions, respected sir. Any software to maintain Indian stock and mutual fund ledger? This is from Ajay ji, my closest friend. Ajay ji, any software to maintain Indian stock and mutual fund ledger?
I would recommend mProfit. Very, very good, and they have improved it significantly. mProfit. I will put it in the chat box also. Very reasonably priced. In fact, for an individual, it is, I think, free also. And they have improved it a lot. mProfit.
And mProfit, by Sana's written it, sir has typed it. Abhishek Gupta asked a question which, sir, I'm not understanding, sorry. What about IND wealth? Is it individual's wealth? मैं समझा नहीं question, sir. Sorry, यार. Abhishek, can you explain this question? Can you type again? बच्चे मैं I have become old, तो मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ ये question. What about IND wealth? What is IND wealth? आप जरा बता पाएंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा.
India wealth.
I don't know, sir. India wealth, independent wealth. Abhi IND can stand for anything. We can have a dumb charades now on IND, what it stands for. It's better Abhishek says what he wants. So we'll wait for him. Sir, because I want to set tempo for the next class, many of us have invested in IND Wealth is an app. I don't know this. Thanks, Abhishek.
I am also not sure.
So class, please note, dear Abhishek wants to add value to all of you all. Please try out IND Wealth. We are not recommending, neither Abhishek is, nor Anil Menon is, definitely not Harish sir is. IND Wealth is an app. Can you try it out? Abhishek says it seems to be a very good app. So please try it. Click the button. IND Wealth. Thanks, Abhishek, for this wonderful feedback. Right. That's what I keep saying, people. Telegram, there's no one expert. Everybody keeps sharing. So my question to you, because I want to set the tempo for the next class. The class should know what we are going for. So a lot of us have invested in debt mutual funds. You can please keep posting your questions. Debt mutual funds, thinking it's a good alternative to fixed deposits. So this was a pitch that was made by a lot of wealth managers to my dad and many of us, right, saying that, you know, FDs are good, but there's debt products are better and there's practically no risk. Even that time I had said that aisa ho nahi sakta hai. Even if you get some higher returns, there has to be incremental risk for that incremental return. So being a veteran in the debt field and as a veteran wealth manager, can you at least set the context for the next class? Right, next class we'll have a prepared standard discussion. What do you think is the basic risks in a debt mutual fund?
The first and foremost risk which most people understand in debt mutual fund is default risk. So mutual fund takes your money and then they will put that money in various fixed income securities, debt securities like bonds, commercial papers, etc. And many of them are issued by companies. Now they could be good companies or they could be companies that go through trouble over a period of time. Like you gave a very good example of Vodafone Idea who defaulted in January. The first risk is the investments that the debt mutual fund managers have made in some of these securities default and you don't get the money back. That is the most important risk, which is default risk. There are two components which does not have default risk. There is something called as overnight funds, which obviously we will discuss in detail next time. Overnight funds don't have default risk. And there is a government security fund. So any government security do not have default risk. The second risk, which many people don't understand, is something called interest rate risk, also called as duration risk. So if you invest in any long-term mutual fund portfolio, so we have a long-term gilt, we have a long-term corporate bond portfolio, then be ready to see some fluctuation of your portfolio. So even if no default happens, even if everything is government bond, like today, I think Vasudha ji asked a very good question about gilt funds. Gilt fund is safe. There is no default risk, but there is interest rate risk. So be open to the fluctuations in that part. The third risk, which is very, very critical, and as a normal investor, you will not be able to judge it. You need deep analysis for that, is liquidity risk. Can the fund manager sell the securities he is holding or she is holding easily when redemption pressure comes? And we saw that many of them faced issues like Franklin Templeton had problem in the month of April. So liquidity risk, very difficult to analyze. You need to go very deep into understanding which bond are they holding, then look at secondary market data of that bond and see whether they are liquid or not. Very difficult, but very important risk, because sometimes under panic situation, like we saw earlier this year, everybody redeems, but they can't sell their bonds. So they will get their hands up and say, sorry, I can't give you the money back. So these are the three main risks, sir. Default risk, interest rate risk, and liquidity risk.
So to summarize here, please understand the company itself may default on giving your money back, right? Which is what happened to some respected companies like Vodafone, right? There's a second risk, which is known as interest rate risk. We will explain this in detail. When I say we, I will contribute. Harish sir will be the main spokesperson. But it's common knowledge that, you know, when interest rate rise, bond prices fall. When interest rates fall, bond prices rise. This is called as the inverse relationship in debt markets. So you may have suddenly when the interest rates go up, as Harish sir would tell us, and I would be explaining, right, the NAV of your fund will fall. Last but not the least is liquidity risk. There was a very interesting discussion in the Telegram group about some kids talking about ETFs, and suddenly Harish sir, I just wrote to Harish sir, because investment means I immediately go to Harish sir. right? And Harish sir actually was staying away from the group because saying that these kids are discussing too much of loans. So that's okay. That's completely fine. Please discuss loans, but it is not only for loans, right? In fact, some respected senior actually called up and told me, he was upset with me, respected George sir. He said, why don't you name this group as loan group? And then I got the hint. That is why last time I said boosting exports, stronger balance sheet. And kids like Abhishek also, they give me direct feedbacks because they know I mean good for others. So I called up Harish sir and said, sir, ETF bol raha hai. He said, Hare Baba, ETF, very high liquidity risk. Please, I said, sir, why don't you please come and answer that then? तो बच्चे लोग पैसा डाल रहे हैं, right, ETF पे. He came and immediately said, ETFs have very high liquidity risk in India. US, very good. Please go ahead and do it. So the third risk is liquidity risk. One very, very important experience sharing from dear Vaibhav Mohta, right? He's from a tier 3 city in Nagpur. Love him. A great guy, right? A great person. He is just writing something for the information of all. I used to have an account with Interactive Brokers. Apart from the, excuse me, I'm reading out what is being said. So please, Interactive Brokers, don't file a defamation suit against me. I'm reading out something that has been mentioned, right? If there is anything that, please address Vaibhav's difficulty in dealing with y'all. So as a customer, he says, apart from high brokerage, they charge $10 per month, regardless of whether you trade, hold anything or not. That is something that slowly eats into profits. And so he's saying, I was not very happy about Interactive Brokers. Harish sir, we will keep quiet. So this is Vaibhavji saying that. Harish sir says, I'm very happy, right? I believe it's a strong platform, but he clearly mentioned the brokerage is high. So there are two pools of thought. Each one is an adult here. You can please take your call, right? If you feel, right, that you want to go abroad. One suggestion that was made, right, is Interactive Brokers, but there seems to be some problem some kid is having. And one more thing Vaibhav is saying, which is a shocker for me, regarding, okay, Vaibhav is now saying experience was excellent. So that this defamation thing is scaring a lot of us, it looks like. Immediately Vaibhav types, experience was excellent, costs are high. Okay, so yeah, acha hai, right, God bless. So thanks Vaibhav, right, don't worry, Interactive is not watching this session. And one very sad thing, for all the chartered accountants sitting here, I'm finding it very bad. Regarding DTAs and tax benefits, it was struggle making CAs understand. I don't know if this is the right comment to make in a public platform, but I will accept it with all humility that if that is the case, and he says that was from 2011 to 2018, I will make an appeal to the CA board because I go there for valuation sessions that possibly they should educate the CAs better in terms of DTA and tax benefits since such a feedback has come. My personal experience is there are experts like Harish sir, who's a qualified chartered accountant, right? And he has taken his area of practice. If you go to a general person and talk to him about DTA, usko nahi samajh mein aayega. I have a kid here whom I have taught. Bachche ka naam kya tha? I forget his name. He's staying in the same building as mine. He's an international taxation expert. Neeraj is an international taxation expert. So I go to Neeraj and talk to him about international taxation. I can't go to him and talk about debt mutual funds. It's as simple as that. Debt mutual funds, investments, Harish sir, right? International taxation to a professional in that area. Of course, paying them their requisite fees is also important. So maybe this comment of making CAs understand this, are we going to the right professional also is important. If I want to get surgery and I go to my local doctor and say that surgery karo, and then say yeah, that doctor is not a good surgeon, I don't know. I am just giving examples. And of course, each one has their own examples to share. Vaibhav again keeps saying this, experience was excellent, cost was high, so please take care of the cost, something that was mentioned by the speaker themselves. So one very important point that I wanted to set the context. Many of my students today, I've been saying this, and I've been talking to them, is that, when you take these sessions, Manan sir, we are enjoying it. Should we take money out from the business and invest elsewhere, right? Right? And should we take money from the business outside and then invest, or should we retain money in the business? So these are lovely kids and they open up everything in front of me. They are my kids. So one question that was asked, was, yeah, okay. Thanks, Vaibhav, for your wonderful comments. Right. He says, go to an expert. He found somebody in Deloitte who helped. Thanks, Vaibhav. Enough. Thank you for your experience sharing. I thank you publicly. Yes, Harish sir, please, sir. The question that is asked by most kids are very simple. Is that, sir, I'm doing so well. I want to put money in my business. Sir, is it, Manan sir, क्या करूँ? मैं पैसा business से निकालूँ या बिजनेस में ही चलने दूं? आपको क्या लगता है सर? व्हाट इज योर हम्बल ओपिनियन, नॉट ए रिकमेंडेशन, ओपिनियन? यस सर.
Yes, sir. My personal opinion is that if the business has two components, one is a good return on their capital invested, which is in double digits, which is very difficult to get elsewhere. That is point number one. And point number two, the business has potential to grow further. You have the room to expand further. You have the room to expand your capacity and do that, because sometimes a business has a good return on capital employed, but it has reached a stage where it cannot expand any further beyond a point. If these two situations are there, high return on capital and further room to grow, then definitely business is where you should invest, because that's the core asset you understand and you know and you deal in day in and day out. The only reason why you will go out of the business is two reasons. One, your return on capital employed is not as high or much higher than what you can get from equity markets, for example. Second, you already have invested a lot and you want to diversify. So if you're looking to diversify, having non-business assets creates a very holistic portfolio. So after 5 years, if something wrong happens to the business, unfortunately, you still have a lot of assets which is not linked to that business. So we are trying to break the correlation. That is something that is what I would always suggest to a businessman who's investing.
So tweaking that answer, if your business in a high growth stage, maybe 90% of your money should go back into business. Menon mantra. 10% should go outside. Definitely you should take money out. It is not good to put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification is the key. Right? Yes, as your business slows down and right, the business has become mature and does not need adequate cash guzzling, then maybe you can increase that 10% to 20, 30%. But PPF is an absolute must. There is no two discussions about that at all. PPF is an absolute must because PPF cannot be attached. However good your business is, you have to separate your business vagaries from your son's education and daughter's education. So all those who are very, very passionate about business, don't forget your fundamentals, that index funds and PPF is what Anil Menon has been saying repeatedly. It doesn't cost too much, but keep it going. What is extremely also critical at this stage is what respected George sir is to tell me. Do you want Mukesh Ambani to work for you? So he's sitting there in Cochin doing very well, but he says, I want Mukesh Ambani to work for me. How do I do it? I buy Reliance shares and hey, I find Mukesh Ambani is working for me now. Right. So yes, it also calls about diversification. No specific stocks. Many of you all, I get scared when you start talking about specific stocks. So I get a WhatsApp from a dear kid who keeps showing me graphs and saying, sir, I believe it's the right time to invest. What do you think? I politely write, 3 times I've written this. Beta, if I knew the answer to this, I would not be teaching in SPJ and I would be the next George Soros. This answer I have now cut paste. Whenever this kid asks me this question, I just give the same answer. Well, I don't know. This is technical analysis. Yeah, graph looks good, but there are black swan events. There are black swan events. To answer that question, right, please diversify. Super question, sir. Today has been amazing. We will continue for another 10 minutes, right? How safe are liquid funds? And that's a concern, sir. That's a concern they have. How safe are liquid funds? Abhishek ji is writing this question, sir. It's a big concern. How safe are liquid funds?
So two parts to the answer. Liquid funds by nature does not take too much of default risk or too much of interest rate risk as such. In general, they are safe. Even in the default scenarios that has happened in the past, liquid funds were not the ones who got affected in any big way. So I would fairly say most of the liquid funds, if their portfolio is clean, you don't have any issues with them. There are two things which I would like to add here. One is there is an exit load in liquid fund if you exit within 7 days. If you're investing for 3 days, 4 days, etc., and if you take the money out, there will be exit load. So they want you to invest for minimum 7 days. The second thing which has happened from this month, July 1st, is the entire liquid fund portfolio is now mark to market, which essentially means that every day they will value all their securities at market price. There is a possibility that your liquid fund NAV may have a fluctuation, which is a little bit of volatility as compared to earlier. It won't be significant, it won't be much, but there is a possibility that you invest today and you want to take the money back in 15 days and you have a little bit of a lesser returns because of what is called as mark to market risk, which now has started from this month as per SEBI regulations. But in general, don't expect that you will have a major capital loss in liquid fund. I don't expect that to happen. they don't take undue risk in liquid funds.
So Abhishek, 99.99% liquid funds are safe, but there could be a black swan event which could temporarily affect the returns of liquid funds, which could, and this has happened in the past, temporary, right? But then don't panic. Don't panic, because wherever you get incremental return, there is going to be incremental risk. Sir, you are as good as it goes. So there was one thing which I want to tell all of you all, but which I've already posted in Telegram, right? That there is a stamp duty implication also which has come in. We have discussed that. I believe this was posted by one of you all on Mint. Immediately it caught my attention. I analyzed it and I put it up there. Stamp duty implication means a couple of things. Short term, if you are investing for short term, that stamp duty is going to eat into your returns. So the solution is simple. Don't churn, invest for the long term. And yes, Harish sir says this always, right? So you say this always, new fund offering just for the sake of investing in new fund offering is not good. I know the answer because you have given it to me, but I want them to hear it from the horse's mouth. Just like that, investing in, because I'm saying invest in new fund offering. Very good, very good. You said it's not advisable. Why did you tell me that, sir? And why would you advise people to do that?
As of now, I don't see any category or any type of fund which doesn't exist in India as of now. So any new fund offer will only be an add-on to similar funds offered by other mutual funds for sure. So for example, if a mutual fund comes out with a small cap fund, there are many small cap funds already. If a mutual fund comes out with an arbitrage fund, there are many arbitrage funds already. And why I would then not be comfortable investing in a new fund offer is for a simple reason that there is no track record. I don't know how their fund selection is going to be. I don't know how they will build the portfolio. There are a lot of unknowns. I would rather go with a scheme which has a history. I can track what have they been doing with the portfolio. I can track how the fund manager has been managing the portfolio. So as they say, a known devil is better than an unknown devil. So I would go with something which is existing.
Sir, with your permission, I know you don't want to hurt anybody. What about the commissions that somebody earns in new fund offerings? I'm just asking you as a question. Is it high, or what do you think is your opinion? We all know the answer, but please tell the class.
So what happens generally in India is no investor is tracking new fund offers. Nobody in their active life is spending a day saying that, chalo dekhte kya new fund offer aaya. Usually they are told about a new fund offer by some of their mutual fund distributors. I know many mutual fund distributors who don't recommend it, but some do. And one of the possible reason that they could be doing it for is higher commission. Because in new fund offer, the commissions are usually higher than an existing continuing fund. There's a tendency for a lot of mutual fund advisors, not all, obviously, there could be a minority, who are probably going to come to you and say, ये इसमें नए में डालो बहुत अच्छा है, and the motivation could be commission sometimes. So you have to be careful about that.
So luckily, Gani and Harish sir, Buddha is behind me. I'm calm. Otherwise, I would have gone bonkers saying that, why people recommend. This is bad. It is not about earning money. It is about respecting somebody's wealth. And I've been taught this. So let's get it clear. I'm making it very straight. New fund offerings can be strictly avoided unless there are specific reasons. Period. If somebody is recommending a new fund offering, please ask that gentleman, why is he doing it? Period. That's all. As simple as it goes. I'm making a very direct statement. My dearest colleague, sir, Sandeep Kankaria ji, I've not even met him, but I love him. He's asking a question because he got me to the social media. All this men and mantras is thanks to Sandeep Kankaria ji. ये जो Facebook हो रहा है या YouTube हो रहा है, ये सब उनके बदौलत हो रहा है. He introduced Rahul ji to me. Sir, he has a question. We'll take two more questions. One from dear Sandeep Kankaria ji. Sir, for my daughter, would you recommend Sukanya Samriddhi or should I continue with PPF? Daughter.
Sure, sir. And just before I answer, I would just request you to check your WhatsApp. I have messaged you something, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
On the question, I would not recommend Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. I have heard from a lot of investors who have done it that when they exit, when they want to redeem the money, there are a lot of conditions attached to it. So the amount that you're withdrawing has to be for a certain purpose, which is education only. And then only 50% can be withdrawn for higher education when the daughter turns 18. The remaining 50% is after some more years. And many cases, the daughter is already 24 and they still cannot take the money back. So the redemption of that Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, there is a little bit of a exit restriction, which obviously you wouldn't want at that point. That is why PPF is a better option, because in PPF, after the number of years are gone, you can withdraw tax free and use it for any purpose that you want. There is no restriction on that. So I am not a very big fan of Sukanya Samriddhi scheme in its existing form.
So I got the WhatsApp, and very politely sir is saying this, but before that, sir, there was a mention, last question from my side. Sandeep says, thank you. I love you, Sandeep ji. Sir, there was a mention that I made about arbitrage funds, and one of my kids wrote back saying that there was a last question, right? Don't leave, please, all of you. Very important announcement coming in. Arbitrage funds, sir, right? Somebody said, Menon sir, they are saying it is very risky. And then you told me, no, 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 it is not risky if you want to hold it for long term. So can you please clarify that to the class? Are arbitrage funds really risky? Right? You have told me, but it is better you tell them. And class, please wait. After 1 minute, there's a big announcement coming up. Yes.
So, sir, the thing about arbitrage fund is the way they create that arbitrage opportunity is using what is called as cash and futures arbitrage. It's a little complicated. We will try and cover it in the derivative session. Now, there are times in the equity market when, especially during a sell-off, especially when the market is not doing well, the futures price and the cash price does not leave you with an arbitrage opportunity. You don't get much arbitrage opportunity. So it's not like you will make a loss, but you don't get an opportunity of making that risk-free profit. So what the fund in that case does is the fund will put money in an overnight security, and the returns will then be only 2-3% per annum as of now. So in the short term, so if you're considering arbitrage fund for, let's say, 10 days or 15 days, there is definitely a possibility of what is called mark-to-market risk. Again, just like I said for liquid fund, mark-to-market risk is there in every fund. So 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, you might see your returns could be negative also in arbitrage fund a little bit. But I would suggest that if you have 3-4 months or above kind of investment you want to make, I don't expect arbitrage funds to give you a loss over 3-4 months kind of an scenario, because markets will give opportunities of arbitrage sooner than later. We don't have a period of 3 months where arbitrage opportunity doesn't exist. So it is still a decent category for more than 3 to 4 months, not for very, very short term, like few days or few weeks.
Thank you, sir, for the important announcement. Thank you, Vaibhav Bete, for saying that I did not have the same network as I have today. He checked in Nagpur and experts in Mumbai. Finally, someone in Deloitte in Hyderabad helped him. So experts are important. The message from Harish sir is that I will not be there next week. I'm sorry, sir, I can't come next week. But there is an important announcement. Now I realize why he said that. And believe me, I am not marketing. It just struck me. Harish sir is doing his first paid session next Sunday, 11 to 5. And out of respect for Harish sir, I will not be taking anything next Sunday at 11:45. I'm very clear. His first, I will be paying and attending it, and I'm not marketing. Please, I'm not marketing, but I respect somebody who has done so much for all of us. It is the myths, math, and must of managing money. And this was not planned. I swear on God, this was not planned. This is on July 12th, 2020, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The investment amount is 1,500. And there's an early bird discount where you can pay up to 1,000 rupees till 2nd of July. My request to Harish sir, respected Harish sir, is if my kids want to join, if they want to join, please extend that early bird offer to them. If they want to join, please extend that. And from my side, as a respect to Harish sir, I'm very clear. I'm not going to conduct the session because I may eat up into somebody else's categorization. I would personally pay and attend this lecture from Harish sir. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we continue. Abhishek is immediately said, please share link on Telegram. I will do that, Abhishek. Again, please note, we are not marketing. 1,000 rupees is not big amount for anybody, but I respect him. 4 sessions, he came and gave his time, and I cannot cannibalize my friend's session. So, उन्होंने क्या लिखा है वो भी बोलता हूँ. Sir, next Sunday, I will not be able to take the session. ... I have scheduled my financial planning paid session from 11 to 5 next Sunday. I'm sorry, sir. Nowhere he has said, please tell them to attend. But I am telling you all, I think it's worth attending. Out of respect for him, I will be attending. I will be learning. We all should attend. So I will share your link on Telegram. The limited period offer is extended. Sir, let the kids take a decision today. Extend it till tomorrow. Tomorrow you can withdraw that offer. We are not saying do it now. Abhi 2 ghante mein karna hai and all that nonsense that people do. Take your time. Think if it is worth it. You have time till tomorrow. If you feel it worth it, please attend. If you're not, no problem. Personal finance session next Sunday is suspended out of respect for an individual because I'm going to be a student. Thank you very, very much. When we meet 2 Sundays from now, we will be talking about debt mutual funds. So I hope this entire series of exports, foreign exchange, Monday we are going to have compliance, right, Tej contractor, free session. Wednesday, IDBI head coming in, free session. And then finally, I have requested Abhishek, but he's very shy. He will also like to come and share his experiences, or he will give me the matter, I will present, and then we will go to stronger balance sheets. Thank you very, very much, Harish sir. Thank you very, very much. So here it is. I wanted this to come. Yeah, I will post it in Telegram group, right? Sir, where is the Telegram link? Ye thoda, I'll just put my number here, Kaushik ji. Just write to me, or Hiten ji is the best person, but I'm planning also to change the name of that group from Anil Menon Mantras, because I somehow feel that, I don't want to get branded. So I would like to talk to Gani and others, my respected colleagues. Because I somehow feel that inspired by Dr. Shrikant काफी है, right? Is what I feel. I'll talk to them and come back to you. Sir, मेरा number है. आप कौशिक जी आइए. Telegram group. It's inspiration by Dr. Shrikant. And sir, as always, Gani has given the final word. Thank you, CA Harish sir. Every session, each sentence, absolute clarity, just super. Indeed, a guru. That is Gani.
Right? Thank you so much, Gani.
And that is Hitenji for all of you all. He's the guy who's taking care of my Telegram, runs a multi-crore business himself. Proud father. I love him for his ethics. I call them मेरे बच्चे, but मेरे बच्चे मेरे से बहुत ऊपर है, right? करोड़ों का business चलाते हैं, but as humble as it goes. Thank you all of you all. Sorry I delayed, but we started late, and I'm happy those who came at right time. Harish sir could answer your questions. Thank you. Can I have some words for my guest speaker, please, Harish sir? Right. Thank you so much. Right, मेरा बच्ची है Sonal, she's saying thank you so much, amazing sessions. I want 5 or 6 feedbacks to go. It makes the name. Right. Yes, Abhishek, I will keep that in mind. Can we have the number of Hitenji? Okay, Hitenji number. Yes, okay. I don't know, but Hitenji has already given us this thing. Hiten, बेटे आपको, if you are comfortable, can you please give your number, because मुझे नहीं डालने को डर लगता है. मैं मेरा नंबर दे रहा हूँ. आपका नंबर आप देना है तो आप दीजिए, नहीं देना है तो नो प्रॉब्लम. मेरा नंबर डाल रहा हूँ. अच्छा, हितेन ने डाल दिया है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. मजा आ रहा है आप लोग के साथ. This entire session will get extended beyond July 10. Response has been amazing. जितना हो सके करूंगा बेटे. For me it's also a stress buster. आज बहुत कुछ सीखा मैंने भी international investing के बारे में. Right? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is it Vinayak ji on the other side or Shanti ma'am? Who is it?
Anto.
Anto.
Yes, sir.
Arey, hello, Anto ji. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.